another PPC radio show with Shelly Shell Williams, Hot Mama, and DJ
Hey.
Kid Disco. And today we have our special guest, Janita Harris. Yay! Just like normal, we're going to take our commercial break first and foremost so we can get that done. And so we can dive on into this.
There's someone like you.
It's the PPC Radio Show, hosted by Cinda Williams, co-hosted by Shelly Shell Williams. Music by DJ Kid Disco on the Grown Folks Radio. WGFB-FM Radio.
So are you ready?
How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Oh,
Facebook, you know we're with you. That was kind of sudden. He didn't even let me finish my intro, dang on it. How y'all doing? How's everybody doing?
everybody, I'm good. I can't complain. Can't complain much.
I've been watching your videos, girl, looking good out there.
Oh, thanks, and you too. I love showbiz thing. You know, I that is what I wanted you to do. So I'm grateful that you out there talking
Yeah.
to the people.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm working it out. I decided to do it like after the show, so there was no conflict with the show, you know, on Mondays and Wednesdays. So,
Yes,
so
stuff.
Janita, are you on TikTok, girl?
No, I am not. My kids are. I just go on theirs and watch.
Yeah, I did that for a long time, and I had quite a few people say, "What is wrong with you? You better do something." Been trying to.
Well,
trying to get
when you're in business, you got to do something. If you're in business trying to promote what you do, social media is the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I know all these kids that are new to the business, my daughter's friends and all that, and they are rejecting it. They are rejecting doing social media. I'm like, kids, come on now. If this old lady can do this stuff to be relevant, you better get on it, you know? They just,
But
you know,
are they in the business? Or they?
yes, they all want to be actors. I'm like, honey, they're artists. You know, they're artists.
We don't want to water down our artistry by
we're too good for this, you know. So
they better go look and see every actor and actress is on
Social
TikTok.
media.
yeah, if you do anything public, it used to be the first thing they would look at is your photo and your reel. Now the first thing to look at is how many numbers you have on social media and what's your content. That's what they look at first. And then they might look at your reel. Maybe not.
Well, if they like what they see on social media and you got the numbers, they're going to look at your reel. They're going to be like, okay, well, come on in.
And the thing is, you don't even have to be that good. You could be mediocre, but they don't care because you got numbers that they're counting on to watch whatever or listen to whatever. They could give a crap. Shoot, that
Because
might
they're believing that if the world is seeing it and the numbers are going up, that means their numbers will be affected and they'll have good numbers at the box office or on their show. So obviously they got something that people like.
Yeah, they're
always surprised.
It used to be like with us, with Black folks in the business. That's why our rappers were working and doing all the roles, and our female singers were getting all the work because they had those numbers, you know. Now it's turned
Radio.
So are you ready?
How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
PPC, 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 yeah. PPC, PPC. CPC, yeah. Join me so we can grow together. Conversation, get that healing. Let them know what they're missing. Share with your best friend. Tell them come hear this, yeah. Don't you dare miss your blessings. Powerful lessons, true confessions, yeah. PPC, yeah. A powerful tool for you. PPC, yeah. A powerful tool for you and me. PPC,
Yay! Welcome everyone to the PPC radio show yet again. We have been online talking about some interesting things with Facebook. Thank you, Facebook, for hanging out with us. Hi, Ramon. Hi, James. What's up, fellas? Okay, so today we have Janita Harris from Illinois with us, entrepreneur extraordinaire, and we are very excited to hear her story. But you know, we got to do something else first. Shelly Shell, tell her.
All right, Janita, are you
Yeah.
ready? All
I don't
right.
know. Should I be worried?
No, don't be worried.
Okay.
Just be excited. This
Okay.
is true confession time. So if you heard the promo, the jingle, it says true confession. So we need your true confession. It doesn't have to be deep or personal, or it could just be something funny, silly, something no one knows. And then we have to follow suit. So whatever it is, we gotta follow suit.
Okay, true confession. True confession is I don't know if I want to say that.
Oh, that means it was a good one. Look, she's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I gotta think about that one. Do I really want to say that one?
Oh, go ahead.
True
You got
confession.
it.
Okay, I'll just say this. I'm not as innocent as I seem. Let me just say that.
Okay.
I can't go. So I'm not as innocent. And the people that know me know what I'm saying. When I
Well,
say I'm not,
nobody knows you, so you gotta say something.
You gotta say something that we can follow, because I can't follow suit that as innocent as I say.
oh my God, yeah, because I'm like the church nice girl that's, real conservative and kind of monitor what I say and what I do, but I'm not as innocent as I come off. Is that enough?
I get it.
I get it.
Okay.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
So when you with your certain squad, you become,
A little different with the ones that's close to me. Yeah.
a little freer.
Yes, comfortable. Yeah. Without conviction.
Comfortable without conviction. That's a title somewhere. That's comfortable without conviction is such a title.
Absolutely.
I like that. That is a sermon right there.
Okay, I'm gonna have to write that down then.
Yes, please. Right. If that's what you do, then make sure you write it down. Comfortable without conviction.
Yes.
It could go into so many different things.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I love that. I can't wait to see you preach that. You preach that.
Okay. I will.
All right, Cinda.
If I'm going to be truly honest, everybody kind of knows all my crap. I'm an open book. And I have been pretty boring most of my life. I was really that innocent girl for real. I just really, but it depends on your point of view, because in some church families they might look at me as a lot of things, right? But I don't see that stuff as not, because I treat people I try to follow Jesus, you know what I mean? I try to do, but I think Jesus might have been a little less innocent than we know too. You know what I'm saying? He was a man hanging out with fishermen and stuff. So, I did this movie once with Lavelle. I think that's her name, the comedian with the white hair.
Uh-huh.
Lunel?
She and I did. Huh?
Lunel.
Lunel. We
Lunel.
played,
Yeah,
we were besties in church, right? And we would like sneak out during moments of the sermon and get a little, you know what I'm saying? It was really funny because she is just hilarious and I was her straight man. But yeah, when it comes to that kind of stuff, but see, I think that's of the earth and I don't see anything wrong with it. As a matter of fact, it helps people. So I guess I'm not innocent that way.
You're not
because
as innocent. That ain't innocent. Look,
That's
if you
not
think
innocent.
if you think it's all right, then no.
I sure do. I think it's of God. God gave us that plant and God gave us medicine and it's just more of the same. It's just man decided they rather go underground and get that money than let the people use it and get better. So that's just my beliefs. So I guess I'm not innocent either.
I would have to follow suit with that, and I'm not as innocent as you think, but I am 100% comfortable without conviction. I
That's
am that good girl. I am that one who's pretty straight laced, and I have never smoked weed or anything herbal
wow.
in my life because I love who I
Wow.
am, and I don't want to be changed for anything or altered for anything in this earth. So I don't want to drink if it's going to alter who I am. I don't want to smoke if it's going to alter. I don't want to be high. I just want to be me. And that's how much I love myself. So, yeah, I'm not as innocent. So in my comfortable spaces, I may let out a cuss or two, but it's somebody who I know won't be offended, because that's when cussing becomes a sin, is if the person is offended. From what I remember, from what I recall, from what I know, if you're offended by it, I wouldn't go into the church house and be like, what's up? You know, I don't think they would be very comfortable. But there's a certain crew that I have that if I let one off, it's all good, you know.
But I do want to make a quick comment about your comment about being yourself. I mean, you eat sugar. That ain't yourself. You eat, people do stuff all the time that affects their physiology and their chemistry. They drink coffee. It gives them energy. To me,
I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, well, you're different. I'm just talking about people in general. I'm not talking about you. That it really depends on, I think we're a lot of things. We're not just one thing. And like when I drink coffee, I'm energized. That's not necessarily.
Does it really energize you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't drink it because of that, because I couldn't sleep for drinking coffee. I was just having 1 cup a day and I couldn't sleep. So I had to stop. It affected me that way. There are all kind of substances that there's so many toxins in our food and our water that are affecting us.
This stuff is poison. Some of this food out here is poison. And I agree. That's why I'm trying my best to change it around. But it's like, you ever been, if you ever had surgery, I don't know if anybody ever had surgery, but when you had surgery, I remember when my ankle was broken and to come out of surgery, and that moment of coming out of anesthesia is the highest I feel like I've ever been. So when you coming out, you like, am I here? What's going on? You like so spaced out, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it felt. I didn't like the way I was like, oh, I don't like this, because you couldn't come out. You can't quite get you together because you like, what's happening in this world? And you're saying you could say all kinds of things. So that's why I don't like it.
That first time I had my first and last blackout was the last, because I have to have too much control. I want to know what I'm saying, what I'm doing. So I don't do anything a lot, because I do not want to end up dead somewhere because I drank too much, So people do crazy things when they do too much of something. What about you, kid? Are you innocent at all?
I can't even spell innocent.
Innocent.
Why are we doing this? I can't even spell innocent. Like,
Innocent. You mean guilty? No.
as far as, I don't drink, but can I share a secret with y'all?
What?
I'm high now. Like,
Really?
I've been high
wouldn't
since
have known that.
1990. Listen, I've been high since 1992. Like,
Okay, he's not innocent.
Not innocent. That's okay.
That's okay. We love you anyway. All right, that was a good one, Janita. Thank you for sharing your confession with us. All right. So now we're going to move into Janita, your life. So some of the people that listen also listen to the podcast, but a lot of people don't. They don't check that out, so they don't know anything about you. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
I grew up on the west side of Chicago in K-Town, with a brother and sister. My mom, my dad, they separated here and there, so we moved with my grandmother, and it was pretty rough. I mean, when you're growing up in the city and poor areas, and you live there because you too have some struggles. And growing up on the west side and dealing with a lot of things, it made me develop insecurities, from things that was being said. I think I spoke about seeds being planted. When people are calling you stupid, they're calling you ugly, calling you big head, big lips. So I heard all these different things. And although with my mom, it was always positive. She always said, oh, no, you're not. But you feel as a kid, oh, you're my mom. Of course you're going to say that. And then I started displaying the things that was put on me. Okay, somebody say I'm stupid, so I'm going to act like I'm stupid. They say I'm ugly, I'm not going to dress, where it's going to attract anybody. So I did things to get the opposite response of what a normal person may want. Although in school, I was a straight F student, but when it came time for the Iowa test, anybody that know, back then we did an Iowa test before going to the next grade, I always scored 3 and 4 grades over. So that's how I was able to go on to the next grade. But it was really, it caused such a depressing spirit that carried over into my marriage, me having children, my adult life, that I had to really, really battle and try to maneuver through, which is hard. Anybody that deals with depression know that it's hard. No matter what you do, no matter what anybody say, and even the medication that they give you make you feel worse than what you're feeling already. So it was like there was no natural solution to help me heal from this thing. And you looking for help here, looking for help there, you're looking for somebody to give you this magic word or solution that's going to instantly heal you, but never comes. So with depression, it has no name, no look. It doesn't matter who you are, no color. Back in the day, we would associate suicide with white people. Now it's any and everybody, but it's more Black people committing suicide than we ever known. But it's because of so many different issues where when you deal with depression, you can't even put into words what it is you're feeling, why you feel this way. How did you go from happy and skipping to this down spirit in a second? And that's how it comes upon you. It comes out of nowhere, and it lasts for long times. I will have periods where it's a week, period where it's 2 months. And so imagine a husband and children having to deal with someone like that. Is next to impossible because there's nothing they can do.
But you mentioned something you said that even in your younger year, because you got married younger, right? You mentioned that. So obviously you was a cutie and had a great personality, because all of us out here, and a lot of us not even finding no husband. So obviously you were exuding some type of something.
But I never saw that. I couldn't, how, well, I don't know, maybe you haven't felt that way, but somebody may say, oh, you're beautiful, or you have a nice shape, or these things, but you don't see that. That's why you see a lot of people altering their bodies, even though somebody say, oh, this is nice, but you don't see what other people see. And I didn't see that. It didn't matter how somebody say, oh, you're smart, you're beautiful, you have a good business mind, you're blessed. I didn't see any of that. All I saw was failure. I seen a failure in every area of my life. I had points where I felt that, oh, nothing good ever happens for me. So here come the pity party thing. So, oh, it's happening for everybody around me, but nothing ever happens for me. This person is doing that. I desire that, but it doesn't happen. So I based all of that off of the seeds that were planted. When people saying, okay, you're this, you're that, all these negative things. And what we do as an individual, we water those things by acting out. So here it is, these roots start to grow, and then here come this blossom of self-hate, even to the point where, I'm on the verge of committing suicide.
Yeah,
You
been
know,
there, done that. What you got to say, kid? I see you trying to say something.
there's one thing that you said that I want to get into. When you said now we see more of an influx, basically you're saying more of an influx of black people committing suicide. No, it's not that there are more black folks. It's just that we have more social media now. We have more avenues to be seen because black folks been doing that stuff since the slavery days, if not before that.
But when I say that,
It's just more people. It's more seen.
More publicized now.
It's more. Yeah. Thank you, Shelly. It's more publicized.
when I'm speaking on it, I'm judging from a West Side. I'm a kid on the West Side, so we didn't see that. I mean, we've seen.
You didn't hear about it.
I'm sorry.
You didn't hear about it.
So meaning you didn't know anybody personally.
Right. So for me, when I base it off of back then, that's why I say it wasn't known, because we just didn't hear about stuff like that, and we didn't see it. We saw people get shot in the streets. We heard about somebody getting killed by gunfire. We heard about gang rivalry and go in the house because this is about to happen. But that wasn't something that we saw. We saw drug addicts on the street. We even had family members that, dealt with drug addiction. I mean, I had close family members. So we seen things like that. That was something that I didn't see. Now, it probably was known. I mean, I just didn't know of it because I didn't see those things and I didn't hear about those things. Let me say that.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I obviously know the West Side. I was born on the West Side, moved to the South Side by the time I was 5. But I know that my memory of it was very depressed place. I mean, everybody was depressed because there was so much poverty. So, like you said, the drug addiction, the violence, all the stuff that was happening. And so, when you're depressed, you stop taking care of yourself, right? So the community stopped taking care of the community. Dirt everywhere, trash everywhere. Oh my God, I'll never forget. I was riding through the West Side with a friend of mine that lived there, and we literally all had to dive down to the floorboards in the car, because there were shots ringing out, and there were whole crowds of people running in the streets trying to get away from whoever it was shooting. And this was a daily occurrence. And that will make, along with the self-talk and the people that say hard things to you, your whole community is suffering from depression. And so where do you see the light? Where do you, I mean, it's for me, it's about, having to get out of those places that so you could see something different, and that's sometimes what it takes for people to find their way out. Or they just have this inner light that douses douses, the opposite of douses. It just, gets rid of the darkness, but it's difficult when everything you see represents depression. It really does. They may or may not have been killing themselves, but they sure were living in a way.
They were killing themselves in other ways.
Exactly. Slowly. Yeah. Gradual death. Slow death.
Death is happening. Death can happen if you don't reach back in and fix the problem, which is what you did, Janita. Somehow you fixed the problem. So did you have, when you said you were failing in school, was that throughout high school as well? Or because we didn't have a test to get out of 1 grade. We didn't have that.
Yes, we did.
We did not have a test to get out of 1 grade.
You don't remember the California Achievement Test?
That didn't get you out of the grade.
But if you scored too low, you got left back.
But nothing you could do got you to the next grade. We didn't. I know I did. If that was the case, we didn't have that.
Oh, we did. It was the Iowa test, and it was all through grade school and high school. As a matter of fact, I dropped out of high school early. I think it was my junior year, I dropped out of high school, and I ended up doing a GED after I was married with children.
I think in Chicago, I at least when I was there, we were always out of school. we weren't in school. We weren't learning because they were always striking constantly. When we ended up moving to Indiana, man, I was so far behind everybody else because I was never in school. So I think the Iowa was a way to say, okay, we can get around this issue of people flunking in school. They're going to flunk because they're not in school to learn. I think it's much better than it used to be. But
So the Iowa was a state recommended test that you had to take no matter what. And we did have the strikes in the beginning of the year, and then we would be out for, of course, if there was a bad snowstorm. But for them, I think that some of the teachers were really good. It's just
yeah,
because of how I felt that I just had no desire. I didn't even put an effort in. But I knew that if I did the Iowa test, that I would pass. So that was enough for me.
So you just skated the whole year, knew you, and the thing is, you were smart enough. And the thing is, now you know how smart you were to be able to just pick up, take the test, and pass the next grade. I mean, that is pretty amazing. And then the GED in itself is super hard.
Yeah. So I didn't take the class for it. I didn't study. I just went straight in and did the GED so I can get I wanted a diploma. I wanted to have my diploma. And I got my diploma and went to cosmetology school and started from there.
Wow. So did you have a hint that cosmetology, is it something you did as a kid? Did you know you liked it?
Yes. You know how you sit on the front porch, you braiding everybody's hair, or, I use people I call them guinea pigs to practice on. So I just love doing hair, and I felt that that was something that I wanted to do, professionally. So I started going to cosmetology school, and the whole time I was in school, I said, when I graduate, I'm going to open my first salon. And God blessed me where I was able to open my first salon on the west side of Chicago. I opened it up fresh out of cosmetology school. Of course, my teachers were saying that it was impossible. I wasn't going to be able to do it. But if God said, if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And for me, it's always been like that. I don't necessarily have to see the full picture, but if God just give me an inkling of something, I'll move forward. And I'm always preparing. I knew I wanted a hair salon. So what I do, I started buying my chairs. I had it all in my front room, my reception desk. I brought the sinks. Everything was sitting in the front room until I found the space. And God provided. And I was able to open up my first hair salon.
now let me ask you this, because I know cosmetology or anything to do with that is a very, I know nowadays, I don't know if you've had this experience in a lot of places, people that do hair, that do nails, that do all of that have to have some therapeutic experience, because you end up being a therapist for so many people. And I wonder if that was, because I know when I help others, when I've been depressed, it helps pull me out of depression. Do you feel like that was part of the draw, the hands-on helping others feel good that might have
It can go both ways. It can kind of go both ways, but I do, when I'm preparing for my day and I know what I have, what client I have and what services they're getting. And as I'm laying everything out, sometimes I feel like a surgeon, like I'm getting ready to do surgery. So I always say that, I don't know, Lord, I don't know what you're going to have me to do today. If I'm going to be a sister, if I'm going to be a friend, if I'm going to be a therapist, if I'm going to be a minister, I don't know if I'm just going to listen. So I don't know what it is, but it does help. And then it gives a lot of people relief too, that I can come here. It's just you and I can release, and I don't have to worry about it going any further. But then on the flip side of it, sometimes I get, because a lot of my clients have become family and like friends from years of providing a service. So on the flip side of it, sometimes people can come dump all their stuff in your lap and leave it. And that thing attack you, trying to figure out why all of a sudden my mood changed. Why am I snapping on my husband or going off on my kids, or why I have such a sad spirit? Is because that thing just jumped on you from them. So sometimes I find myself where I have to draw the line, because you have some people just anything go on, the same person, they just come dump everything on you. And no matter how you share, they don't receive any of it. So I realized from them doing that, okay, no, this is enough. You can't dump. This is not the dump yard. This is not the garbage disposal. So you have to take that somewhere else.
Well, on that note, let's get our commercials done. You want to do that, kid? because I think that's a good place to pause. Because I think we can continue on with that a little bit. That was good. That was good. We'll
It's
see you
the
guys after.
PPC Radio Show, hosted by Cinda Williams, co-hosted by Shelly Shell Williams. Music by DJ Kid Disco on the Grown Folks Radio. Yo, 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 yo. WGFB FM Radio.
So are you ready?
How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, Facebook, since we're here. We are still right here on Facebook and we're just talking. So when you were in high school and even though you weren't really doing the whole school thing, what were you doing while you were there? Just chilling?
I had more days missed than I had present. I was out doing my thing over my friend's house, at the mall, wherever I can go, I was there. I participated, even though I didn't stay for graduation, I didn't even have enough credits to be in my senior class. So I wasn't even I was a senior by age, but I wasn't a senior by grades. I went on prom, I did everything.
You went to the prom and everything, so you was just living your life.
Yes, I did.
So what were some of the things did you have any extracurricular, like out, after school things you like to do, even though you didn't want to do the whole school, but did you like things like track or music?
I was in the choir, so I liked the choir. That was probably the only thing I did. Choir and pom-poms. I'm sorry, I was on the pom-pom team, so I did those two things. That was it.
And so you didn't have to have a certain grade to be on the choir or the pom-pom team. Is the pom-pom team just like a cheerleading team? Is that what that is?
They dance. They do the dances. But no, I didn't have to. They allowed me to be a part of it with no problem. And I enjoyed it. That was the one thing that I loved. The choir was one of the biggest things that I loved. And choir was a part of one of the classes that I've had to take every day. So that was fine. So that worked out.
So are you a singer, or is it something you enjoy, or is it just
yeah,
you got a voice?
I don't sing like that anymore, but I do sing with a group called Anointed Voices. My sister, me and my cousin used to have a group growing up, so, and that was it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I
There's always something in us. Even if we don't want to go to school and do the schoolwork, there's always something in us that we like or we can do, or it ends up being a creative thing that you do in life later on.
Yes. And that was one of the things that I love to do. I love to sing. So I think that's why I was attached to so many different things with my family and then my friends and the church choir and the school choir.
So you was in church back when you were a kid? You've been in church?
All my life. Yes. We grew up Church of God in Christ.
Church of God. That's a Kojic. That's right. That's Kojic. Yes. Church of God in Christ. Oh. Oh, okay.
When we started, my mom, it was a little different for her because her parents, they didn't do the pants, the jewelry, the makeup, none of that. But for us, my mom was, I guess because of her lifestyle, she was a lot more lenient. So she didn't allow us to fall under those things. So we wore what we wanted to wear. We could wear jewelry, but Church of God in Christ, they didn't want.
WGFB-FM Radio.
So are you ready?
How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
All right, welcome back to the PPC Radio Show. Facebook stayed with us. James said, Janita, I was listening to you on the podcast last Friday. It was very inspiring, and I could really feel your positive energy. Thank you for that. So he actually sent me a message. It was like, oh, she was really good. So people received your energy in a very positive way. That your honesty is refreshing. So we were just talking about you in church during the break. Um, so did your church have any counseling and stuff like that? Like, were you even aware that you had a depression when you were young?
Very much aware. I didn't know exactly what it was, but as I got older and went to the doctor, I found out exactly what it was. But church, even as my husband and I both are ministers, those are things that seems like is frowned upon, especially when you're the one out front. It's like you're supposed to always, like, nothing is supposed to ever be wrong with you. Everything is supposed to be perfect. This is what I perceive from being in church, which it makes it so hard to go, because everything is the devil. I don't care what it is. I stomp my toe, ain't nothing but the devil. I fell out, the devil. And some things is not necessarily the devil. I mean, so those things that you can't go for spiritual help. Sometimes you have to go for natural help. You have to go to see a physician to kind of help you through those things. So a lot of people suffer in silence, let me say that, because you're afraid of how people may see you or how you may be perceived if you come out and share those things. But I'm a person that I'm transparent, whether it's come to marriage, my children, myself. I want to be able to say something that somebody may need. You don't know who's listening that may be dealing with depression. You don't know who's listening that may have issues with their husbands, their children, their marriage, finances. You don't know, but a lot of times we sit back and sit on things and you don't know what you can say that can help a person heal. So transparency is very important to me because people need it, and a lot of people is not giving it. But the church, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I went to church for marital counseling, and I said I would never do another counseling anything, because my business was not the church business. My business was supposed to be between my husband, myself, and the pastor and his wife, but it was some of everybody's business. So no.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think you had a bad experience. I think different places. I know, like, my grandfather was everybody's counselor at our church except for mine. Everybody was like, when I knew I was depressed, everybody's like, go see your papa. I'm like, no. No, the family is part of my issue. So I had to find my way somewhere else. But a lot of people received help from him. But
That's just
man,
him. That's just
what I'm
because he was
saying.
a good person. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Janita. I do not want that. The church counseling, I have not had a good experience. And it's not just one church, it's multiple churches. And I did the premarital counseling. And you see I ain't married, right?
That's sad.
I've done premarital counseling twice, engaged twice, and I'm still ain't married.
Eddie, what you saying?
I got a call a couple weeks ago from our friend Nikki, and she wanted me to bring this up, but a show hadn't came across yet, but now it's right here. And she was saying how she had a new client, and the client pretty much, their previous therapist was telling some stuff that just wasn't cool. And she was asking me, could I bring that up to just kind of mention that all therapists, unfortunately, all therapy isn't good therapy, or all therapists aren't
right.
Good. Some just tell you the wrong stuff and just make it even worse.
It can. It can.
You ever meet a person who is a therapist or a psychologist? You just meet them in regular general life, and you're listening to them, and you're thinking, could not be a therapist. You will never be my therapist. Or no, man, or you are just as, unstable as the next person. So how can you be a therapist? So of course not everybody who goes to school, gets grades to graduate is qualified to be a therapist.
I think that's every career. I mean, you have doctors that have no bedside manner. They're mean. You have people that are doing jobs that the description is about caring for folks, and they are sick of themselves. I know my dad was a therapist, and I'm talking to him about it, and he said so many people are drawn to that career because of their own issues. their own problem. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't get the help that they need. And that's supposed to be a requirement. If you're a therapist, you're supposed to get therapy, because you're kind of like you were explaining, Janita. You have a lot of people dumping stuff on you, and add to your own issues the energy from all these other people, and you can be very unhealthy as a therapist. I have a friend whose mother was a psychiatrist, and I don't even want to say out loud, she was a very difficult person. I'm going to be kind. She was not a nice person, and I could not imagine who in the world she would be able to help. Not that psychiatry is different. That's more about the medicine than about a psychologist who is more about talk therapy and stuff like that. But I think you got to really, just like you got to get second opinions about doctors and stuff, you have to like go through, and if it doesn't feel right for you,
You got
what
bad
they're
people.
saying makes you feel worse than when you arrived, and you probably shouldn't have that therapist.
I mean, you got bad lawyers, you got bad doctors,
Mhm.
you got DJs that should never even touch a needle because you just
Right? You got cops killing people instead of
Right.
protecting them.
you got people that can't cook. Speaking of cooking, can we get into your
Oh,
Mhm.
the catering, the
yeah,
food.
yeah,
Oh yeah, we can talk about the catering, but let me clear this up because the church people will wear my head out.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah.
The ministry that we were in, I'm not saying that every ministry is like that. The same way when the DJ was talking about the young lady with the therapist, every therapist is not like that. It's just so happened to be that we were sitting with a person that wasn't mindful of our own personal business. He just was sharing everything. So
he was
like
messy. He was messy. Ain't nothing you can do about that.
very messy. Okay, let's just say that it was messy, very messy. So the catering. We actually just had our 30th anniversary. We didn't cater this time, but we did decorate. We allowed the hotel to cater for us. But our catering business, we've been catering for probably about 15, 20 years. And we do some of everything. I mean, from the sweets to the food, we event plan, we decorate, we do all that good stuff. I wish I was here so I could have sent y'all some food, but we'll have to get you back next time.
Believe me, next time I come to Chicago, I'll be hitting you up.
Yes, so we can get you some food. But I love that. I love catering. I just love everything that God allows me to do. I think those things are my passion. The catering, the hair, the boutique, the ministry, all of it. I love
Wait a
all
minute,
of it.
you do all of that? So you do the catering and the hair still in boutique?
So I have the catering business and the boutique and hair salon. Those three are in Oak Brook Terrace. Then we have a boutique in Springfield, Illinois. And every year, this is the 8th year, we have a ministry, Greater Good Ministry. We're not in-house, but we do a big event every year in October. So we have a women's fellowship and we climax with everybody. So men, women, and children on that Sunday.
Wow, you said something about on the podcast, something about Villa Park.
Villa Park. Yeah, that's where I live, in Villa Park.
Oh, you're in Villa Park. I've
Yeah.
been to, is it Foreman Mills in Villa Park?
Yes.
I was there. When you said Villa Park, I was like, I know I've been there. Foreman Mills.
Yes. On North Avenue. I love that Foreman Mills. Yes, on
I
North-
opened it. I was a part of the grand opening. I think we brought in the people from, they got a TV show that they hawk stuff, not hawk stuff, porn people.
Oh, okay. I know.
Oh, the porn people.
Porn
You
people,
from
right. We
Detroit?
brought the porn people to Villa Park.
You talking about the father and the daughter and the
The
son?
father, the daughter, and Les and the daughter. So we brought them to Villa Park to do the grand opening. And I was like, Villa Park, I think I've been there. That's the one.
Yep, right on North Avenue.
So we are to the point where, kid, you got something you want to, your segment.
Well, since we talking about cooking, yeah, I'm gonna be.
Okay.
messy.
He said, since we talk about cooking.
Who's better on the grill, men or women? But who's better in the kitchen, men or women?
You
I put
always
that
got to
question
who's
out on-
better or something.
'Cause I
Men
put
or
that-
women. It's battle of the sex.
But here's the funny part. You know, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna tell you because I put that question out on Facebook, and yeah.
But I think it just depends on who's really the cook in the household. Now, for us, believe it or not, my son is a beast on the grill. He does. So we serve these jerk chicken tips, barbecue jerk chicken tips. We serve the ribs. You know, it all depends on what a person wants. He is the bomb. So I have to say he's better on the grill. Men, for me, this is for me.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, my experience has always been men are better on the grill. I
That's
just
not
don't
my
want to get
experience.
smoky.
And that's not my experience. I mean, I know men that can do the grill well, and I know women that can do the grill well. So it's not, to me, it's not a man woman. It's just a person. Because Monica can cook anything wherever she at. She could be on the grill in the stove, whatever. Monica gonna cook it, and it's gonna be good. I don't care where you at. So I don't, and I don't think it's a man woman thing. And I ain't on a grill or the stove, so don't ask me nothing.
Because I was getting ready to
So-
say there, when I put the question out on Facebook, everybody was pretty much, you had men that were like, oh, I could do both. You had women that like, well, it's my kitchen, whatever. But I know some women who could burn water, you know, certain.
I don't burn water. I know how to cook water. Thank you very much. But I'm not cooking.
We know. I mean, you know,
I'm not
DoorDash is your
cooking.
friend. I mean,
I like for people to make my food for me. Thank you.
see, I'm a functional cook. Like, you're not gonna starve. I ain't doing nothing gourmet, but I'm a functional cook.
Oh, you're not gonna starve either. You're not gonna. I buy a chicken. I buy the rotisserie chicken from the supermarket, and then I put the sides with it, so I can make a vegetable, and that's about it. Or I put the water, the bag water. What's it called? The rice in the bag. Rice in the bag in the thing. There you go. That's a whole meal.
Shelf, stop.
You're not hungry, are you? You're not hungry, right?
That's what we doing.
You're not hungry?
So you don't holiday cook?
Holiday.
Holiday,
Holiday
she's the first one at everybody else's house with the utensils and the napkins and the cups and
In my to-go plate. Yes, so I can have food for the rest of the week. Oh, hallelujah.
Kelly the one that'll show up with bags and a roll of actual roll of aluminum foil in her purse, a pack of plates.
We have one of those in everybody's family. The pack up. I call him the pack up person.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
in my family, the men always were on the grill. It just in my family, and we were happy about it because we did everything else. Everything else, all the cooking and cleaning. So we were like, please do something. And they were really good at that. And so that's been my
I know
experience.
some males,
I know y'all
especially
making
the
me
ones,
hungry.
especially the ones that are chefs.
Yeah.
Men are just. It's kind of like women. Women are like they cooked all their lives because they had to take care of the kids or whatever. Men who become chefs. That you know that's their.
Because they love to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of women that say, "Look, I just did it because I had to," you know. But as far as the grill, I suck on the grill. My wife is the grill master.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
mine-
saying. It's not a man woman thing. It's
It's
a
an individual thing.
it's a
Vaughn
whomever.
said, I've been grilling since I was a kid. Antoinette laughed. She said he never makes nasty food. James said men are better on the grill and in the kitchen if I'm making a macaroni and cheese. We have a ongoing competition on who has the best macaroni and cheese. I say it's me, he said to him. So we have to figure that out.
Oh, I'll be glad to taste it, y'all. I'll be glad to let y'all know. I really will. Let me know when, and we'll make it happen. You know.
When I'm cooking, it's all in love, but it's rare because I rather clean than cook. Give me a brush and some mop and a broom, and I'm in my happy place. I don't know why I love cleaning so much, but I do.
I don't know why
know.
you do either.
Huh?
I'm saying I'm a female, and I know God made me a female, and I'm grateful for it. But I really don't believe that was for me. None of that stuff, the cooking and the cleaning. I always wanted a housekeeper. Like when I grew up, you know how you had those dreams, and I'm sorry I let my dreams go thinking I wasn't able to get them. But I always thought when I grow up, I'm going to have a housekeeper. When I grow up, I'm going to have a cook. And when I grow up, I'm going to have a driver. These are the things I thought as a kid, and I allowed it to go out of my head. I want all of that. I want a housekeeper. I want a maid. I want to cook, and I want a driver. I'm sorry, that's what I want. So I need to get rich quick.
Yeah, yeah. If I could afford a housekeeper and definitely a cook, absolutely a chauffeur for sure. But if I felt like cleaning, I would. You know, I do some deep cleaning somewhere because sometimes I just have a need to clean something because I think I'm disorganized in my mind, so I can organize my life by actually doing something like that. Then I'll do it. But if I could pay somebody, heck yes.
Yes,
Money.
I'm for that ministry. Let's go, ministry.
I
I'm
could
about
use
to
me a driver, a cook, a cleaner, and a roll-up artist.
What?
a roll. Oh yeah, you can have that.
No, there are people. Never mind. I'm sorry, Jeannie. There are
Mhm.
people that get paid to just roll up all day. Like,
What? Seriously?
ask Snoop. Snoop talked about it online.
Really? That's a
Snoop
job.
Snoop said he pay a dude about a good 70 grand a year to do.
Well, I can imagine he would need that.
Yeah, he take care of him good. He feed
You
him
got to
good. He
roll,
buy him clothes,
roll.
and that's all he do all day is twist. Like, can't
Wow.
beat that.
Well, Snoop is very busy. I wondered how he had time for all that.
I feel like Snoop is every time I see that commercial when he's on the beach with the bull and I'm like, yo, he has just made a whole like he just keeps excelling and expanding and keeps going. It's like, oh, those deals that he's making. Who is his manager?
Yeah, I think he's brilliant. He's super smart, but Shelly, he's high all the time. Literally all the time. At least my experience with him has been when we did Caught Up, man, when I went to meet him and he opened that trailer door, I thought I was gonna get knocked out with all the weed smoke that
Snoop
came
is one of
rolling,
my
literally rolling out.
Snoop is
Good
on my
night.
bucket list of ciphers. Now, I've already had two off my bucket list during the All-Star game when it was here. Method Man and Redman.
Method Man, Red Man, okay.
Troopers.
What a nerd. Yeah.
Stretch and Vinny.
Everybody has their dreams. Janita, if you could have someone do something for you, because you're a caterer, you do all, what would they do?
What they do for me? Take over some of my responsibilities if they can, because there's a lot that comes with everything that I do. And it's hard for one person to do all the things. So if I had somebody to come in and take over some of the responsibilities, that would really touch me. That would really help.
Stop it, because you know y'all caregivers don't want nobody else doing, because y'all feel like can't nobody give love like y'all can.
Yes.
Then y'all get mad after y'all train us to rely on that. Y'all can't do nothing. Well, wait a minute, you.
It's just sometimes y'all don't always listen. So if listen and follow the instructions that we give, then we won't be like, you know what, you just can't get it right. Never mind, I'll do it myself. No, but if you can have somebody to come in and take over some of those great responsibilities that you have, where you can every now and then get a break and not have to even think about those things, that's amazing.
She
It is
lying, y'all.
amazing.
She
Wow.
works too hard. She used to work and she lying, y'all. She
But
is
No,
not
she
going to turn
would.
over.
She find the right person.
your body says something different. Now, no, get me wrong, my husband is an excellent help, but he's a provider for the house, so he can't always help with a lot of things, you know. So yes, if I can get some extra help, that would be amazing.
Yeah. And Antoinette said she was on tour with Snoop and the dressing room was lit up. Vaughn, you said washing and bathing the clients? What does that mean? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't
Did
know
you
what
get a
that means.
contact high? No. He takes pride in his washing. Antoinette said, I don't know. I think I missed it. But yeah, I know that for me, it was difficult to let go because I'm a domestic person. I really am two people. I'm Cinda and I'm Cindy. Cinda is all about, writing and acting and singing and whatever. And then there's Cindy that likes to serve, that likes to cook for people, likes to clean all the time, like that, but sometimes, at least me, I had to let go. It's like when I'm teaching my daughter, once I've done it and I've shown her, then I gotta let her do it because
See,
if I
that's
don't,
where I was going. And
Yeah.
except for
Yeah.
Girly over there, y'all two are shocking me because women don't usually like other women in the kitchen and
yeah,
It doesn't work very well.
I had to let go because I had too much going on. I have all this stuff. I can't do everything, Janita. I can't do everything. So it's like sometimes you got to just say, okay, it may not do it as nicely as I wanted, but do it. Somebody do it. I can't do it all, you know.
No, they have to do it right.
And 9 times out of 10, they like Sophia, my daughter. I didn't think she knew what she was doing because she refused to do it right at my house. But her place is pristine. Okay.
That's
Her
how it always
place-
goes.
Her place is pristine. Okay. So I know now that she knew she was just being lazy because I was mom.
Right. That usually their room at home, it looks like a homeless person lived in there. But you go to their
Right.
crib after they move out.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, we are to the end. We only got a few more minutes. So, Janita, please tell everyone where they can find all your wonderful things. Do you do any online anything yet?
I do. So the website we switched providers, so that's under construction, but we do have the Instagram and the Facebook. Like Shelly said, I was one of those people that just didn't want to deal with social media. I have to be honest about it. So I had my family, my kids was, Mom, this is the way of the world. You have to do it. So I did start the Instagram earlier this year and then the Facebook. So I do have both of those. The Instagram is shop_therapy_boutique. And then the Facebook is Shop Therapy Boutique.
Okay. All right. So y'all need to check her out. I have, like I said on the podcast, I have a dress. I'm almost ready for it. It was one of those pre-purchase, I'm like, my body ain't ready yet, but it's gonna be. And I'm almost there and it is beautiful. So y'all need to check out her boutique and maybe get your hair done and get some food because it's taking care of a lot of parts of your life right there.
She making sure you look good and you feel good in the tummy. Like, man, you got it all.
That's a good woman.
Yeah.
So and Shelly, you got something going on?
You said shop_therapy_boutique.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do I have going on? Follow me on Instagram at Shelly Shell Williams. I think tonight we're going to hang out with Keith from the Block with Stand Up at the Movies, 7:00 with Miss Jade, Philly Miss Jade. She'll be performing. And September 2nd is the old school hip hop party. Woo woo. That's out here in Darby, 16 North 9th Street. That's September 2nd. And a pop-up single on a Saturday night. Woo! Woo! Don't have fun.
I don't know if everybody been noticing. Go to my page. You have seen a whole bunch of interviews, past interviews, and there's a method to my madness. Why I'm doing that? First of all, Janita, it was you and Shelly you and Cindy that gave me this thought. Like the whole when we talked about that, CC, the whole
The franchise
thing. And I'm like, wow, I got a lot of stuff, so all interviews are being. Please go to my page because there's a method to my madness. I'm coming up with a new concept called Conversations, Past Conversations. And they're interviews with you. And yesterday we did Nakia Dillard. Guess what we're doing today, Shell?
Oh,
Please don't cry. Our friend.
Kango.
Yes. Tonight.
Celebrate Kango. That's right. Celebrate him.
Tonight is Kango.
That's dope.
Nice. Y'all check out DJ Kid Discos. That's the Grown Folks Radio page.
No, on
Or Eddie Davis.
Eddie Davis.
Yeah,
Eddie Davis page. All right, cool. This week I have Douglas Rory, who is a Kenyan filmmaker, who is joining me Friday on the podcast, and then he'll be on next week with Shelly. Shelly and I, DJ Kid Disco, is taking a little bit of a break. So we're going to be diving into the mind of a man that is very interesting. And although I can't always understand him, so we're gonna have our earphones on because his accent is thick, y'all. But he's very, very brilliant person. So I hope you check it out. All right. Thank you, everybody online. James, thank you. And everybody else that was on here, Ramon, Vaughn, Antoinette, everyone. I'm sure there were more. Thank you so much for joining us today on the PPC Radio Show. And please share, support, tell your friends, check out the show and the podcast. And
Oh, and by
everything.
the way, next week is the
Mhm.
best of me and Girly right there.
What?
I said next week is the best of me and you, me and Girly right there.
Yay! So y'all check out Eddie Davis's page so you can see some reruns of the Melanated Morning Show.
Yeah, this week we were doing pre Sea Breeze, and next week we're doing Sea Breeze.
Okay, cool. All righty. All right. Well, God bless you all. See you next time. That's a wrap.